Hi guys, I'm Katie, and today we will be playing some single-player Overcooked 2, The Unbread Have Risen on the Nintendo Switch. Yay! I'll be taking you through each of the levels, showing you my tips, tricks, and strategies for breezing through 3 stars. Let's get cooking. Is that too cheesy?
Boo!
So we're going to start off with the tutorial, which, like any other tutorial, shows you how to play the game. There's a story cutscene, which I've removed so we won't have the final scene after the level is completed, but rest assured, we're gonna smash it. For the tutorial, I won't really be talking about the mechanics of how to play the game, but I will talk about some of the moves that I think will save you a ton of time. As you can see, I'm throwing food over the counter to the chopping station. This is something new to Overcooked 2, which I absolutely love. It saves you a ton of time that you would have spent running back and forth, and luckily, your meal tips won't be affected by the food that's been on the floor. Another thing the tutorial teaches you that is critical for solo play is swapping chefs. It can get a little hectic for sure, but my favorite time to swap chefs is when one of them is chopping, because they can pretty much do that on autopilot like my guy on the right. The nice thing about the tutorial is that in this case, the timer won't start until after it's taken you through the basic instructions. If you're new to the game or just require a little more time for completion, you can use this time to prep and pre-chop food before the timer starts. Chop, 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 chop. As you can see, the timer just started, and that didn't happen until after we served 2 meals. So one thing to keep in mind is that although you're able to serve the meals out of order, you will lose your tip multiplier. As you advance to later levels, the multiplier becomes extremely important, so I would try to build that habit of serving them in order now. And as you can see in the bottom left-hand corner, my tip multiplier is currently, well, it was at 3 and now it's at 4, which means that I'll get more points as time goes on. Also, while you won't have to boost quite as much in the early levels, learning how to boost effectively and not in sketchy situations so you fall off something will be super useful. And boosting is when you press a button and move really fast. You may have noticed that earlier one of my chefs was chopping cucumbers when there were no meals requiring it. This may be my personal preference, but I sometimes like to chop foods that are likely to be needed in future meals if I feel like I have the time. When serving food, you have a window of time where you will receive the max tip. As long as you serve the meal within that window, you're golden. So while it is important to serve the meal as quickly as possible, it may be worth it to chop another veggie or so, as long as it won't affect your tip. Notice how one of my guys is chopping while the other guy is running around and preparing everything else. And there we go, we got 508 points, and all we needed was 60 to get 3 stars. If you found this useful, make sure to check out the rest of the series where I tackle all of the other levels. Until next time, bye!